Hey, Max here, and I got a hot topic to talk to you guys, you Star Wars fans, about in this episode. And it's about Solo, a Star Wars story. The trailer. Is it delayed again? And Kathleen Kennedy and her future at Lucasfilm. But first, I want to give a disclaimer. This video contains rumors, speculation, and strong opinions on my part. And it may also include spoilers for The Last Jedi, so keep that in mind. Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, it was all rumors that it was supposed to debut on Good Morning America January 12th in the morning. And in my opinion, I think it was delayed again to get through the weekend, to get that last money that they can scrounge up before it hits the fan. And all of the rumors out there are saying that this is going to be a bomb, and he still can't act even after the acting coach. They have no choice but to release this movie because there's so much drama behind it. Everyone knows that it's finished. They have to release it, and they're trying to wait till the last moment because of all the backlash that they're going to receive. My personal opinion, it's just one more sign that this is a bad movie. Maybe the rest of the cast does great, but who is the most important in this movie? It's the main character, Solo, and that's where they didn't get it right. We'll have to wait till see. The new rumor is Monday, but I really think that they're trying to get that last box office buck before this hits the fan. And it's Kathleen's last nail in her coffin. I believe that this is the way it's going to go. There's behind the scenes drama, and in the situation with the Disney, Star Wars, and Lucasfilm movie franchise, and going forward, it's a mess right now. It's a lot worse than you're hearing in the press right now. And that's what we're going to discuss in this video. I'm even going to give a top 5 reasons I think Kathleen is on her way out. Now, are they going to officially say it right now? Probably not. But I think there will be an announcement before 2019 when the streaming service launches and episode 9. I think that's when we're going to get official word. And they'll probably do the Disney magic spin and make it sound good. But things are happening right now, guys. Was Kathleen hiding the trailer because it's her end? A lot is riding on her for this trailer and her career at Lucasfilm. And I think they definitely were hiding it. And we'll get to more points on that in this video. Actually, before the top 5 reasons she needs to go, and I think she is, we'll follow that. But here, let's really talk about why we're getting it on Monday. And that's the new rumor, that it's Monday. Maybe they'll delay it again. And I don't think that the delay is the actual movie being pushed back to December of this year. All the hints with upcoming toys are hitting shelves in April. And they're starting to leak out toy images. So the push is there for April. I do not think that they are pushing this movie back. I think they're just really waiting to the last minute for the trailer. The trailer debut is around 4 weeks after Last Jedi. Now, the interesting thing here is the contract, this crazy contract that they were pushing on theaters. It was to keep The Last Jedi 4 weeks on every screen that they established with the theaters. They could not limit any of the screens. So if a new movie's coming out, they can't replace it with a new one, or they'll face severe fines and penalties. And here's a line from Darth Vader in Empire: "I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further." And that's really what Disney did to theater chains. They make peanuts as it is. Literally, they have to sell peanuts at the concession to make any money, and they made it even worse for them. And they really, in my opinion, did this because they knew ahead of time that it was going to be divisive. Maybe they didn't realize this much. And if Lucasfilm was on track they would have released a teaser before The Last Jedi and not holding on to it till the last moment. The solo trailer must be horrible. They were releasing it on a Monday morning, if all the rumors are to be true. Releasing a trailer on Monday morning instead of Friday, when you could get the buzz going, that's the most, besides this big delay that's already happened, that's the most telling sign right there. You're going to get more press on a Friday, Saturday. They're waiting till Monday. Maybe it was supposed to come out this morning too, but they just know that people are waiting to bash this movie. I honestly hope they do pull it off, but it does not look good. Also, the industry knows. That's why there's the recent news about Deadpool moving up in state to compete with Han Solo. There's blood in the water. People in the industry know it's not going to do good. Okay, and now I'm going to go on and give you my top 5 reasons Kathleen Kennedy is done. I really think this because 2019 is such an important year for Star Wars in the universe, with the streaming, the debut of rides at the parks. I just don't think they could keep her on. I don't see any way that she's still going to be in charge. If she is, it's going to be a disaster. I honestly think they're scrambling right now. She's been awfully quiet the last few weeks for someone. If you really believe that things are going well for the Star Wars movie and Lucasfilm right now, why is she so quiet? Why are they hiding the trailer? They're hiding the trailer. The trailer debuts after the contracts with movie theaters ends, so they cannot pull any screenings of The Last Jedi, so they can make every buck they can. Here's my first reason, number 5, and it's division among fans and the director community. Firing directors. Upcoming filmmaker community does not really want to work with her after Lord and Miller, Trevorrow, and Josh Trank. And I don't think the big name directors do not want to work with her either. They want to be free to make a movie, a good movie, and not be micromanaged by a committee. And an interesting article was a Ridley Scott article that came out recently in a Vulture article. And this is what he had to say. This is what the reporter said. You've watched other people take over your franchises you've made. How often are you asked to do that? Has Kathleen Kennedy offered you a Star Wars movie? And this is Ridley's response. No, I'm too dangerous for that. The reporter, why is that? And then Ridley says, because I know what I'm doing. Laughs. I think they like to be in control, and I like to be in control myself. When you get a guy who's done low budget movie, you suddenly give him $180 million, it makes no sense whatever. It's stupid. You know what the reshoots are going to cost? And the reporter goes on to ask, I can't imagine. And Ridley says, millions. You could get me for my fee, which is heavy, but I'd be under budget and on time. This is where experience does matter. It is as simple as that. It can make you dull as dishwater, but if you're experienced and you know what you're doing, it's essential. Grow into it little by little. Start low budget, get a little bit bigger. Maybe after 20 million you could go to 80, but do not go to 160 million. Don't give a upcoming director that. Really gives you some perspective about how big name directors are not going to go anywhere near this with Kathleen at the helm. I don't think upcoming want to either. It could ruin your career. I know the promise of doing a Star Wars movie is enticing to upcoming filmmakers. It might be your dream job, but look what it's done to these directors. Now, I think Lord and Miller are the least unscathed, and I think just my honest opinion is that the community probably sides with him, the director community, sides with those two. I don't think new upcoming or big name directors want to go anywhere near this franchise the way it is. So that's number 5 reason she needs to go. Number 4, box office is not as good as you think. Marketing, toy sales, books, and fandom all have to be considered. 7 days into the release of the release in Chinese theaters abandoned The Last Jedi, dumping 92% of its screenings. It also has one of the biggest sequel-to-sequel drops in movie history, making it close to 700 million less than The Force Awakens, and almost 40% less than The Force Awakens. So that is not to be, you really have to consider that, and you know Disney is considering that. You can't go forward with this much division, and there's definitely division there. Maybe you don't see it in the review community, but fans and money are what counts. Number 3. Besides the backlash about The Last Jedi, Kathleen Kennedy and Disney pulled the wool over fans' eyes with The Last Jedi marketing and bullying tactics towards theater chains. I think they tricked us into going. The setup of The Force Awakens, it was a literal cliffhanger with Luke there. He didn't even speak a word. So it was an actual, literal cliffhanger. I think that's why you're getting as much money as you are, but that's why there's so much division and backlash. Also, to go into deeper detail about the contract with theater chains in the Last Jedi film. I think they knew it was coming. The contract to run latest Star Wars film, which lands everywhere. Oh, this was done before the release in 6 weeks, this article. But also ups Disney's take to 70% if the theater puts a wrong foot on number of counts, according to the Wall Street Journal. U.S. theater owners are required to run the movie for 4 weeks without skipping a single screening if they want to avoid the penalty. They also have to run specific marketing promotions for the film exactly when Disney wants and not a day early. It's an unusual clause both in its duration, 2 weeks is more common for hit Disney movies, and its level of punishment. 5% of The Last Jedi gross could make the difference between profit and loss for many theaters. Other blockbuster movies might give at most a 60% take to the studio, and even the theater would usually get more after the first week or so. Internationally, a 40% cut is more common. The Mouse House can issue these demands, of course, because it's holding all the cards. While ticket sales for most movies are down across the board this year, Disney's subsidiaries, Marvel and Lucasfilm, are turning out reliable hit after reliable hit. Also, the other reasons I feel that Disney and Kathleen really tricked fans in the fandom is the announcement of the Rian Johnson trilogy had 3 purposes. To artificially show confidence in a film that they did not personally have confidence in. I really don't think with this contract, it's just a telling sign. Something else, one of my other theories is that they really wanted to close that Fox deal right before Last Jedi hit theaters. If you keep in mind, it was 1 week before Last Jedi hit. I know it was in the process for years, but the timing, there's something there too. To take heat off the Solo, a Star Wars story production and director drama, and to announce something because she failed to get another standalone story started. And I'm sorry, I really believe the reports of a location in Scotland being finalized are for episode 9 and not for the Rian Johnson trilogy. It's too preliminary, and I think it was a throwaway announcement to take heat off of Kathleen Kennedy. Okay, number 2, SJW and feminism. I don't think anyone is happy. People that are for more diversity in handling of SJW and feminist issues in movies, and people that are against it. All the strides that they accomplished in Rogue One and The Force Awakens for female and diversity in characters were completely undone with The Last Jedi. Kylo gets the main focus. Rey never gets proper training or backstory in weak writing. She is immediately shoehorned into a possible relationship with Kylo. Talk about horrible character development, As soon as she gets a chance to prove she's a worthy character with some history about her parents and proper training from a Jedi master, it's thrown out the window, and she becomes weak in the knees and drooling over a shirtless Kylo in her mind and must rush to him. So Kylo gets the main focus of this trilogy. And also some of the new characters. Rose is unfortunately, if you were looking for a great new character in the Star Wars universe for representation of your culture, Rose is a stereotypical Asian fangirl and has some cringeworthy dialogue and scenes with Finn. And Finn's character just overall had a very weak movie for his character. So I don't think either side of this issue is happy, in my opinion. And the number one reason I think she is on her way out is the Disney streaming and movie universe in 2019 has to have one of its most important and strongest years. There's too much backlash and division with fan community. They need the fan community to be way more on board with the way they're going. It needs to be a strong debut. They're also debuting new rides at the parks. Star Wars is a fandom. More than any other movie or property out there. It's one of the biggest ever. And you cannot have this bad press, backlash, in view of your property. The hardcore is the audience that Disney needs. They need to be on board. The same way HBO counts on fandom of Game of Thrones, Disney needs to have fans thinking they cannot live without the new Star Wars live-action TV series. And the way it is, I think a lot of fans can live without it because you don't have that confidence. There's no confidence in Disney, Lucasfilm, and Star Wars right now. It's very much like the DC movie universe, but the stakes are higher. There's more money. Disney has to absolutely project a bold new direction for the movie and streaming services. They will now it is Disney, so they'll probably try to do marketing spin and magic in the news media and say someone else is stepping up to make the universe more rich and have great new stories. Or there are so many spinning wheels and parts that we need someone else to step up and help Kathleen. They're probably going to spin it, but I think she's on the way out. They are scrambling behind the scenes, and a shakeup is paralleled to DC movies is coming to Lucasfilm. Count on it. There are too many parts, too much merchandise, toys, books, comics, streaming services, parks, and conventions not to. Keep in mind, even Bob Iger has to answer to shareholders. I really think Kathleen is going to go bye-bye. I think she's done. Now, this is where I want to give you the reminder that you don't need to follow me anywhere. All I want from you viewers is to join in the conversation. Tell me if you think I'm right. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Comment below, rate, and I'll see you on the next hot topic.